Welcome to our latest edition of Spireites Extra Time. We're going to review the Bromley fixture. Paul Fisher and Liam Norcliffe with you again. We'll also look forward to the Newport game coming up on Saturday. But Liam, are you well?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thank you. How are you?
Yes, not too bad, thank you. Not too bad after that long journey, a 7-hour round trip on Saturday, and yeah, come back to torrential rain. I don't know what that was all about. It's beautiful down in southeast London.
Yeah, and we got rained on again by Michael Cheek, didn't we?
Yes, indeed. 12 in 16 he's got now against the Spireites alone. I was just trying to work out, Will Griggs got 3 against Bromley in 4 games, and I think Liam Mandeville's got a couple now, or maybe even 3 against them. So those two are joining up against Cheek.
12 goals in 16
It's mad,
games.
isn't it?
That's ridiculous.
It is mad. Right,
I mean, he scores against most teams, to be fair, but he must be thinking that he wished he could play Chesterfield every week.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he does score against pretty much everyone else, but
yeah,
I mean, 12 in 16. I mean, yeah, I mean, we'll come on to his goal, won't we? But I mean, he was the League Two Player of the Year, wasn't he, last year, and the top goal scorer. I mean, I think we've discussed this before, but he must have had some good offers to leave in the past. But he obviously maybe the location and maybe the timing, and maybe he's on a good deal himself down at Bromley. But you must have thought with his record that they would have had some tempting offers for him.
Yeah. Well, there was an offer from Gillingham, wasn't there, the last season, which Bromley turned down, I think, as a club then. And then there was I don't know whether it was never announced. I don't think anywhere that other than in sort of local tittle tattle that he'd put in a transfer request.
Yeah, I did see that.
Was it in July or something like that? Was it this year?
Yeah, in the summer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you just think that someone would have. I mean, I know he's 34 now,
yeah.
so fortunately for him, he's at the age wrong side of 30, isn't he? But yeah, I mean, he's not showing any signs of slowing down, is he?
No, not at all. And I thought, well, they started with Nicky Kabamba and Michael Cheek up front, and I was just thinking, well, those two have both scored hat tricks against Chesterfield in the National League days. So I mean, it's just incredible, incredible strike force they've got against Chesterfield. So, yeah. And as we say, Chesterfield got there. Beautiful sunny day. They've got a stand now over the far side, which they're redeveloping. Surprised it's all standing, mind, but I could presume they can squeeze a lot more fans in that way rather than it being seated. We don't believe
that, won't it?
It would be, yeah. We don't believe that's where the tunnel's going to be, or they're going to keep the players coming out on this near main stand, and that's just an exit tunnel that they had. I presume they're going to keep the dugouts over there, but the wind picked up after the game, and the dugouts blew over after the match. So yeah.
It can be quite a feisty atmosphere down there when they really get behind their team, especially the stand behind the net, sort of to the left of the press box where it's standing as well. So if they can create the standing, that sort of atmosphere on that side of the ground as well, then it'll be it's already a tough place to go, but it'll be even more intimidating, won't it?
True, and it's interesting you make that point about it being a feisty atmosphere. Not on Saturday. Didn't get those vibes at all. Just got the feeling that neither side really wanted to lose that one. And I think it was apparent with both sides sort of battling it out, trying to get the 3 points, but never really sure of themselves that once they got in front, they were really content with that, So yeah, it was a really cagey game overall. And I think both managers addressed that, didn't they, afterwards as well? Sorry, Gary Roberts, assistant manager, and Andy Woodman both said that that it was cagey.
Yeah, I mean, I know there were 4 goals. I don't really feel like it was a great game, to be honest.
No.
I know, 2-2, you'd look at that, it swings one way, it goes back the other. You'd think that was quite an entertaining game, but I didn't really come away from that as as previous games have been against them, I've come away and thought that was a real ding dong battle. That was a breathless game. Whereas I feel like no, I didn't really come away with that feeling on Saturday. But I would have taken a point before, and I think it probably was a fair result as well in the end. I don't think neither team did enough to win it. Chesterfield 2 shots on target, 2 goals, so clinical from that point of view, but didn't really create too much. But they weren't really in any danger from Bromley either, were they? Apart from set pieces and long throws, which is what you're always going to get. So I think, both sides probably reasonably happy with a point and just shake hands at the end of the game and move on.
Yeah, I wonder how difficult it was. Windy, the pitch. Sometimes the crossing, certainly Zach Hemmings kicking the ball at times was coming back into his own half. So a good kick that Zach Hemmings got. And Mitch Pinnock, when he had the wind behind him in the second half, was causing a lot of problems whipping in. And in fact, the equaliser came from a Mitch Pinnock corner kick that was floated into the area, and Shea Dunkley got himself into a bit of a pickle because he had 2 players around. He was marking 2, I think. So, and he just sort of bundled the ball. He was very unfortunate in actual fact. So because he'd had an outstanding game up until that point as well, So just one little mistake there, but you're right. I think overall it was a bit of a. It kind of mirrored Chesterfield's season, I felt as well. If you look back, there's been a bit of meh. There's been a bit of quality at times at Chesterfield, but not overall. And the other week when Paul Cook had a go at you for saying it's a work in progress and whatnot, and he went patience and all. Patience, what patience and all that. You do have to look back and think about it. Yeah, these players they've not played a lot together. You can see why he's trying to consistently keep the same side going. And it's just not quite gelling right now. But I thought Mark Candy, when he came on, I thought looked lively. So maybe that's a bit of progress for him. Maybe he's eventually just got himself 100% fit now. So yeah, Darcy's not quite to his level of the first couple of games that he played. So maybe he could be benched for a little bit of time. But yeah, there's certain elements about Chesterfield which are not quite right at the moment, but you can just sense that they're still in 6th place and haven't played well. That does bode well for the future, So look at MK Dons; they've lost again, haven't they, at the weekend? So they got spanked the other night, didn't they, in the Football League Trophy? So things not quite happening off the pitch for Paul Ward either.
No, like you say, if things aren't quite clicking for Chesterfield yet, but they're still steadily positioned in the playoffs, aren't they? With a very winnable home game coming up, which I'm sure we'll talk about. I mean, again, I do feel like Chesterfield are getting a bit of bad luck at the moment in terms of some of the goals that they're conceding. And again, that the first goal that Bromley scored, just a straight ball, and on first viewing, I mean, it is a soft goal, but it looks even more soft on first viewing. Unfortunately, Shea Dunkley wins the first contact, and it comes off the back of Kyle Cameron, deflects into the path of Michael Cheek, and he sort of, does he mean it? Does he not? Is he just trying to put it back into an area?
Yeah.
But then again, knowing the type of striker Michael Cheek is and the record he has against Chesterfield, he probably did mean it. It's just sort of an improvised, swings a leg at it and it loops into the bottom corner. But the way that sort of come about was very soft. And then the second goal, set piece, and I think Gary Roberts said to you, didn't he, after full time, that sort of 1 or 2 of the players had just slightly edged out of position at the near post. And I don't know if sort of, like, say, Shea Dunkley was thinking Zach Hemmings should come and collect that, come and claim the ball at the near post, and he's holding off, waiting for Zach to come. Zach doesn't come, and then he just hits him and goes in. So, yeah, I do feel like Chesterfield going through a bit of a spell at the minute where they are just conceding some really unfortunate goals. But yeah, it was a game which had a lot of familiar themes, didn't it? With the type of goals that they're conceding, and then also they didn't create too much. Again, they didn't lay a glove on Bromley until they got the first goal, which was a very well worked goal. I'm sure we can talk about Will Griggs. I thought he was excellent.
Excellent, yeah.
And then, they capitalised on a mistake in the second half to go 2-1 up, but that was also well worked for that little passage of play. Had a chance to get a third, put the game to bed, didn't, and then paid the price at the end. So, some familiar sort of storylines which we've seen throughout this early part of the season. But we can talk about Will Grigg on that note, can't we? I mean, he's not had too many starts this season. Whether he's just sort of still got a few little niggles from the end of last season. But even though we didn't score, and probably not that we need a reminder, he did remind everyone of what a good lone striker he is in terms of his hold-up play and what he brings to the team, as well as goals, didn't he?
Yeah, he certainly did. I think he was really gutted to come off as well, because I presume he felt that he was playing well, and getting into good areas. So he was involved with, I think he was involved with both goals, was he, as well? So,
Yeah, it was,
his first one was an assist. The second one was second phase, wasn't it, that he fed into Dobra. So I guess he felt that he was a little bit unlucky to come off. But his all-round game was very, very positive for that. And he caused a lot of problems to the back three of Bromley. So, so that does bode well, and he just needs to get a goal, doesn't he? Just somehow. It wouldn't surprise me if he started on Saturday, of course, because he's performing in some good performances. So just to get a goal in that respect. So
it was just a classy bit of hold-up play, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a long kick from Hemming out to the wing, and he's managed to sort of control it, nudge the defender off of him. And then, as Gary Roberts said to you after the game, they'd worked on sort of the cutback crosses rather than putting the ball, into the 6-yard box, where Bromley would probably defend it with their towering giants at the back that they've got, pulling that ball back to the edge of the box. And there was Armando Dobra showed a nice bit of composure. He had to take a couple of touches, didn't he, to compose himself before finishing. That's his 4th goal of the season already, so that's an encouraging sign. But just a little reminder, if anyone needed it, of the quality that Will Grigg brings. I'm looking at some of the stats after the game as well. He still had one of the fewest amount of touches in the game, but it probably didn't really feel like that because a lot of his touches were so effective, and he's played a part in 2 games. But actually, he still only had something like 20 odd touches of the ball, but it felt like more than that.
Yeah, he certainly did really well, and what a good finish it was from Armando Dobra as well to take that touch. And we often criticise Armando Dobra for taking too many touches, but that one he touched it wide and then fired a great shot into the corner, into the bottom corner, and that by and large actually came out of nothing from Chesterfield's point of view. As you mentioned, it was just a long ball forward, but they hadn't really threatened the goal before. There was a lot of possession without any shots on target. Just trying to grind down sides, aren't they? But Dobra again involved with the second goal in the second half for Liam Mandeville on his 250th career appearance as well. So
we should probably talk about him, shouldn't we? We should talk about him. 250th appearance. Such a great servant to the club. Brings a lot of energy. I think he said after the game, didn't he, that it's only really now that he's starting to feel himself, and as if like this is the start of his season. Because of course he had a little knee operation during the summer, and he's been coming off the bench and getting goal contributions, hasn't he? 3 assists, and then he's been rewarded with his first league start. He's got a goal. So in terms of the goals and assist stats, then it's hard to leave him out, isn't it?
Absolutely. He's a player of the season candidate, and he's only started 1 league game. So, but I do think Lewis Gordon, for me, is at this moment in time, in the 2 months that Chesterfield have been playing, he should be head and shoulders above everybody else. He's been an outstanding player so far this season.
Well, Lewis Gordon. Well, he was on track for probably the player of the year last year, wasn't he? Until he got that. He was out for 3 months with a calf injury.
Yeah.
In December, he did up at Carlisle, didn't he? He's someone who just goes under the radar, probably like 7 out of 10 every week. Just keeps possession. You probably wouldn't really notice him as an opposition fan, if you like. He probably wouldn't come onto your radar. He needs to work on his attacking game. I think a lot of people, do have a few grumbles about in terms of coming backwards a lot and things like that. But you can tell he's working on it. His stats show that he's putting in more crosses now, and that's probably down to the fact that he's being pushed hard by Adam Lewis.
Yeah.
So probably not forgetting that when he comes on and he delivers the crosses, there's that competition for places there, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely so. And speaking about competition for places, I forgot to ask him what was up with Ryan Boot, but I understand that he'd had a little bit of, I think he was poorly, I think during the week, he was a bit ill. So they brought down Ashton Ronaldo as the reserve goalkeeper, should have Zach Hemming gone lame in the morning, but they didn't put the sub goalkeeper on the bench. So they had more options going forward. So a bit of a calculated risk for Paul Cook. And I wonder whether last time they didn't name a goalkeeper on the bench in the EFL, that is. So it must be a while since that didn't happen.
Well, we got used to seeing that in the National League, and obviously we were playing Bromley, so maybe we just thought we were back in the National League and just decided not to name a goalkeeper.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So he had more options, but poor Adam Lewis couldn't get in the 18, even despite the fact he had. Almost a sort of bench to choose from, bringing back James Berry onto the bench as well, and a little bit of cameo. Then he didn't entirely look fit. I'm sure if he watches this video, he'll beg to differ. And what do I know about that as well? But he had a free kick which was narrowly just over the bar and slightly wide. So
that was really close, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it looked like maybe half a yard to a yard further back, and that would have gone in.
Yeah,
I think it really did brush the top of the net, didn't it?
Yeah, nice little dip he got there as well. So yeah, really promising signs to see James Berry back. Whether he's ready for his first start yet, I don't know. But maybe target Colchester away, perhaps really for his first start, because I think he needs a few minutes in his legs to get going. So yeah. But overall, I'm guessing that everybody is happy with the point at Bromley, like they were last season in the rain. There's too many times they've been there where they've lost 2-0 and they've lost 4-3 in that epic game that we saw, Liam, that time, which was a stunning match. It's one of those games, that one, which was, if there was going to be a loser, you'd rather lose like that. But it was heartbreaking as well at the time, wasn't it? Because it was 97th minute or whatever it was. But both sides had performed so well in that game, hadn't they?
Yeah, we've had some epic battles down there, haven't we? Like I said, I think there is definitely an edge to those sorts of games now. There is I'm not saying maybe there is a little bit of a rivalry there, just in the fact that they've played each other so often. But it was. It wasn't a 4-goal thriller, I don't think, on Saturday.
No.
But just talking generally about the game, and then from a Chesterfield point of view, 2 shots on target, 2 goals, so clinical from that aspect, but would have liked to have created more. Conceded 2 from set pieces, so that's disappointing, but not something that we really have spoken too often about over the years. They have been good from set pieces, and there was a little bit of luck in there as well. Keeps them in the playoffs, keeps them in touch. They need to go on a bit of a winning run. I think it's 6 points to the top, isn't it? And 4 points from a couple of other teams higher up. So could do with getting a couple of wins on the board now, just to make sure that that's a Gillingham, etc., don't sort of get away from them too early on.
Yeah, so you're looking at the next 4 fixtures: Newport, Colchester, Salford, which will be a tough game because they had a really good start, Salford, followed by Fleetwood. So try and get 3 wins out of 4 in that as well. Maybe at home, you'd expect you'd give Chesterfield a very good chance, wouldn't you? So yeah. But if you're wondering why there was no video post-match interview, I've noticed that I did with Gary Roberts, was that during the interview, as the start of the interview, it was looking very ominous with rain coming down. And during the interview, for 6 minutes, Gary Roberts and I, for 5 out of those 6 minutes, we stood there in the pouring rain, being interviewed at pitch side. And the rain obviously got onto the camera, so that's why there's no video evidence of me interviewing Gary Roberts. But you can catch the interview, obviously, on BBC Sounds so yeah, it's a nice little plug for my interview. There we go, Robs, after the game.
Mhm.
We went and I did the Lee Mandeville interview in the stand, so it was because it was still pouring with rain then. But yeah, that's Bromley done away for another year. We get it out the equation early. He's rubbing his hands. Brilliant. Yeah, so moving on to Newport on Saturday, they have had a what can only be described as a terrible start, haven't they? Under
Mm,
new boss David Hughes, the former Man United coach. I've backed them to go down this season.
I have too.
Weren't
Well,
impressed with them last season.
I've not put money on it, but I had at the beginning them and Accrington
Same as
to
me.
go
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
Yeah, they'd signed a lot of young players, I think, last
yeah,
year. I think I had them to struggle or go down last year. Um, but yeah, I mean, what difficult, isn't it? You know, a coach who's come from Manchester United, I suppose his first job in senior football, I imagine. So it must be difficult sort of learning curve for him. On paper, it's a very winnable game for Chesterfield, and it would be a. In fact, it was Newport at home last season, which sparked the great
yeah,
run
yeah.
to get into the playoffs. Which it wasn't a great performance, but it was a 2-1 win, and it got them up and running and back into a winning groove. And so hopefully that is the case again on Saturday.
Yeah, it was the day that Phil Kirk, we just got the announcement that he'd got incurable cancer, I think. So it was the next home game, and Phil was in the ground, wasn't he? And the referee stopped play on 58 minutes, I think it was, then blew his whistle, and everybody applauded Phil in the ground. And that seemed to galvanise Chesterfield going forward, didn't it, to get the 3 points. And you're right, it meant they got the wins at the back end of the season to get into the playoffs. Yeah, as ever, would Newport come to Chesterfield and play a low block, as they call it these days, or in previous term, just go very defensive, play 4-5-1 or something?
I've got to admit, I've not seen anything in Newport this season.
Yeah,
So, I mean, whether they're playing a more expansive game and that's what's costing them rather than, sort of a more low block, then I'm not too sure, to be honest. But yeah, I do remember having a lot of young players last season. Had a little scan through their recruitment in the summer, and I don't think there was anything sort of jumping off the page at me. So yeah, I think obviously it depends how the game pans out. You know, you could have a penalty given against you early doors or an early red card. But yeah, I think anything other than 3 points on Saturday would be a disappointment for me.
yeah, oh, definitely. You got to win your home games and against struggling sides as well. Chesterfield should have more than enough quality
Mm.
to get, and they need some goals as well. They need to score the first goal first and
Yeah.
foremost. I think that's been um, a real problem for the Spireites this season. Is not getting that first goal and getting on
Mm.
top,
And a
and
clean
bullying
sheet.
side. Clean sheet,
Clean
yeah,
sheets. Not had a clean sheet since Cheltenham, I
yeah,
think, second game of the season. So clean sheet, score the first goal. And as we always say, if Chesterfield score the first goal, quite often you fancy them to go on and win quite comfortably, don't you?
yeah, indeed. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they turn up against the Welsh side who were in there were perennial strugglers. You feel so, but yeah, we don't really know too much about them going forward because they changed from the Portuguese boss last season. So they've gone with a rookie coach then this time ahead. So how many fans they'll bring, of course, I'm not too sure. The Exiles, as their
Mm.
nickname are. So yeah,
We
going
should
forward, just would hope to win.
we should probably. I mean, this will probably go out late Monday or Tuesday anyway. But it is obviously Phil Kirk's funeral on
Yeah,
Tuesday down in Richmond. It's a private ceremony, but fans can go along to the SMH if they book, I believe, and watch watch the service. Of course, they can't have everyone down there, but it's a nice touch, to have it streamed back up here, and it allows fans to go and pay their respects as well. So I think everyone's thoughts will be with the Kirk family out on Tuesday.
on Tuesday, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, family invitation only for down in Richmond. But as Liam said, yeah, it's being screened at the SMH Group Stadium. So yeah, and there's been some book of condolences in the lobby as well at the football ground as well. So yeah, Newport then Saturday. Chesterfield hope to get the 3 points. News came out this morning that we saw that Danny Webb, the Chesterfield
Mm.
former assistant manager, has resigned as boss of Yeovil Town after just one game in charge, following a 1-0 loss against Tamworth on Saturday. Now, the statement says personal reasons, personal and family
Mm.
reasons, and for whatever those reasons are, Liam, we wish him the best, of course, don't we?
Yeah, certainly a shock announcement. Just a one game in charge, wasn't it? On Saturday, 1-0
Yeah.
defeat to Tamworth, which is a difficult place to go for your first game. Watched his interview afterwards, and he talked about the positives in terms of it was a bit of an eye opener for him in terms of where they're at and the signings that he would need to make. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, mate. I just have this feeling there's maybe something a little bit more to it.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't want to talk out of turn just yet. But yeah, you just got this feeling that maybe there's a little bit more to that than what's been said in Yeovil's statement. But I'm sure it'll all come out in the wash, as they say.
At some point, yeah, indeed. So yeah, I mean, moving away from that scenario, just looking at the team and the squad, Dylan Duffy sounds like he is a player that could be out for a little bit longer than has been mooted. He's got this, is it a cyst on his knee or something like that, or
Yeah, it
is
was
a real
cyst on
problem?
his knee that flared up
Mm,
against from a tackle against Crawley, I
yeah,
think. It was sort of a really strange injury. It's not something that you see often. And yeah, I think Danny Webb said, didn't he, before he left, sort of gave the 1 or 2 week sort of time scale. But then Gary Roberts did say pre Bromley that he was still with the physios.
yeah.
So
There's
yeah.
nothing imminent, is there? I would have
No.
thought. It doesn't sound like he's back in training today, does it? So otherwise they would have said that, I'm sure. And obviously Luke Butterfield and Matt Dibley Diaz are out.
Yeah.
But especially for Butterfield, that sounds like he's out longer than we thought was going to be the case. He's not. Still in a boot, isn't he? So from August.
Yeah, that was given as a 6 to 8 or 4 to 6 weeks or something like that, or
Yeah,
6 to 8. And yeah, asked Gary Roberts about that pre Bromley, and he said he's not close.
yeah,
He's still in a boot. So then he's got to do his rehab work, hasn't he? Then he's got to join back in training and get his fitness back up, and obviously Matt Diaz has been left out of the squad. He's back at Fulham doing his rehab work. So you're probably assuming that we're not going to see him until the second half of the season or
no,
close to. Danny Webb did say 3 months minimum, so that could be even longer. So just the 3 options to choose from: central midfield,
mm.
Naylor, Kirk, Fleck. Could
And
do.
maybe
Could,
I don't know if you've checked, but is Naylor suspended or not? I
well,
asked Gary Roberts. He
he
didn't
has got
seem to
he
know.
has got he has got 5 yellows now,
Yeah.
but one of those was in the cup,
Hmm.
and I think they're treated separately.
Right.
So I think he needs to have one more in the league,
Okay.
which he's probably going to get. Like the cut-off point is some way away yet.
Yeah.
So there is a suspension coming for Tom Naylor, and there's probably also one coming for Daly Campbell because now he's also on 4 now.
Yeah.
So he's in the same position as Tom Naylor, basically. So yeah, those two are walking a little bit of a tightrope at the minute. But if there's an opportunity coming up where maybe Paul Cook will give him a little nudge and say, "I'm going to rest you for the next game anyway," go and tuck someone's shirt in the 89th minute, get a yellow. Then I think we saw that with Mike Jones, didn't we, a couple of seasons back? Then
We did, yeah.
we might see that.
A tactical yellow card, didn't we? We
Yeah.
saw that, yeah. Yeah, very interesting news. So it doesn't sound anybody coming back imminently anyway. So that's what we're trying to point out. Janoy Danassian is still training with the football club, I understand, as well. So haven't heard much about Ender Stevens. I think that trial period may have ceased. But yeah.
Yeah, well, Gary Roberts was asked about that, wasn't he?
Mm,
Not before Bromley, the game before, and he said about them getting a deal done for Donassian.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that one will get done when everything's been ticked off. But yeah, he swerved the answer, didn't he, about Ender Stevens? So I imagine he's moved on now.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it can be reignited at some point if needed. But yeah, I don't think he's with them anymore.
No, there was supposed to be a reserve game on Wednesday against Grimsby Town. That's been put back till Monday in the Central League. So that means that there'll probably be a very youthful reserve team will play against Grimsby on Monday at Alfreton Town. So yeah, or maybe even Ryan Shackelford will get a game in that one. So just keep his legs turning over for match fitness. But yeah, we're coming up to the end of the half hour. It goes really pretty quickly actually. So we'll be back with you. It won't be next Monday. I think it'll be Tuesday. On the basis that I'm in Portugal, so I'm missing this game on Saturday, but I will be watching it. So
Nice.
yeah,
I imagine it'll be warmer there.
it might be warmer, and there may be alcohol involved, Liam.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'll not be at the game on Saturday.
Excellent. I'll get it in as well then because I'm not here for Colchester away.
Colchester away.
I'm in a stag do in Munich. So
And is there going to be alcohol involved in that?
And I will not be watching the game. that'll be a hard sell, I think, to the rest of the group.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye on things and following what's going on. So yeah, but we'll do his best to squeeze as many in as we can as we go along.
Exactly. We certainly will. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends because we've got a good number and we always like people to get involved. And we do read your comments as well. Some of them we don't agree with, but some of them we do as well. So we'll point to that. But yeah, thanks for getting in touch with us anyway. It's brilliant to get some feedback and whatnot. So thank you for that. And catch Liam's stuff on Derbyshire Times website under the heading Chesterfield FC. And Liam does his musings. He's done a piece today about the Bromley, the game as well, which you can peruse over and have a look.
Maybe we could ask people to submit some questions if they've got any, in the comment boxes. If anyone's got any burning questions, we can try and answer them, or if we can't, we'll try and get the answers for you in future editions, future episodes.
That is correct. Thank you for your time again, Liam. And yeah, thanks for everybody for watching, and we'll be back with you next week. Take care now.